In England and Wales, family court proceedings are conducted almost entirely in private. No press, no public record, no scrutiny. What happens inside those walls stays inside those walls. That is the system working as intended. But sometimes that same secrecy is exactly what allows the wrong person to win. I lost custody of my daughter in October. By December, the woman who had convinced the judge I was a danger to my own child had been arrested. This is what happened in between. My daughter is called Rosa. She was 5 years old when her mother and I separated. Her mother, I will call her Diane, had been my partner for 7 years. I thought I knew her. I thought I knew everything about her. I did not. From the first hearing, Diane was composed, precise, and devastating. She told the court I had a volatile temper, that I had been verbally abusive throughout our relationship, that Rosa had witnessed several incidents that had left her frightened and unsettled. She produced a journal, handwritten, dated entries going back 3 years, documenting what she described as a pattern of controlling and threatening behaviour. I sat in that courtroom and I felt the floor shift underneath me, because none of it was true, not one word. But I had no journal, I had no log, I had nothing except my own account, and in family court, when one person has documentation and the other does not, documentation wins. The Cafcass report came back recommending shared care, equal time between both parents. I thought that was it. I thought we had reached a resolution. Then Diane filed a new statement 2 weeks before the final hearing. My solicitor told me this was serious. The judge took it seriously. And in the final hearing, with this new allegation sitting over everything, the judge ruled in favour of Diane. Sole residence. My contact was reduced to supervised visits 2 hours per fortnight, pending a review. I drove home that night and I sat in my car outside my flat for a long time. 6 weeks later, my solicitor called me. Diane had been arrested, not for anything to do with our case. She had been arrested in connection with a fraud investigation that had been running for over a year before we had even separated. Diane had been using false identities, multiple names, a history across 2 counties that she had concealed completely. There were previous relationships, previous proceedings, a pattern. None of this had come out in our case because family court does not run background checks. It does not cross-reference. It trusts what it is told. My solicitor filed an urgent application to reopen the case. The judge granted an emergency hearing within 4 days. Diane did not attend. Her solicitor withdrew from the case the morning of the hearing. The judge set aside the original order. Full residence transferred to me with immediate effect. I picked Rosa up from school that afternoon. She ran across the playground and jumped up, and I held her and she said, "Daddy, you smell the same." 5 years old, the only honest person in the entire proceeding. Document everything, every single day.